just wanted to talk about it a little bit. I'm very passionate about purpose. Mainly because most of my life I didn't have one. I didn't have a purpose. I had no idea what I was doing. I was involved in drama. I was involved with girls. I was involved with drama with girls. I had no direction. And everything that seemed like something I could get on board with, I got on board with. I was very passionate about politics when all that stuff started happening. I was very passionate about sharing my relationship, the things that were happening in my relationship. I didn't have any kind of compass, and I'm not talking about moral compass, I'm talking about just a compass of the soul. I didn't have a compass. I was kind of just floating out there. And the reason that purpose is so important to me is because I think it goes hand in hand with passion. Passion and purpose, purpose for your passion. I truly believe that those things go hand in hand. When you are without purpose, when you don't know what your purpose is, you don't have a lot of passion. Let me tell you, when you know what your purpose is, oh man, that's life-changing. That's when you want to get up in the morning. That's when your soul is like, hey, let's plan our day. We got stuff to do. We got a purpose. We got a goal that we are going towards. And the interesting thing about goals and purposes, I think they're actually different. I think that goals reflect how you respond to the world with your body. You set financial goals. You set relationship goals. You set friendship goals. You set little things about your body, losing weight, being a better person, not biting your nails. In my case, not eating meat. That's a goal that I set. A purpose is different. A purpose is your goal for your soul. Okay? I'm going to say that one more time. Purpose is your goal for your soul. Okay? So you've got goals that you set that are just for your body, that are just about this earth and this plane, and that is awesome. You should have goals. Everybody should have goals. They are the thing that gets you out of bed. They are the thing that gets you to the next step and the next step. But let me tell you, when you have purpose, you have a goal for your soul. Right? It goes past getting up in the morning. It goes past everything that you see. When the world looks really dark, when the world looks really scary, it is that purpose that gets you through it. It's that light that you keep seeing, that you keep moving towards. That's your purpose. And I'm not exactly sure what it is that we're going to be talking about this week, except for the fact that I know what it's like to have a life without a purpose. And I can tell you that when you look around in 2019, that is what you see. You see a whole entire world that has no purpose at all. None. They are lost and they are scared. They are posting things left and right, trying to get their voice out there, trying to find something to hold on to. Republican, Democrat, anti-this, pro-that. It's just a cycle of people that don't really know where they're going. And see, I also think that there's a difference between having a purpose that is your soul's purpose and having a purpose that is your life's purpose. Okay, I happen to think that when you have a soul purpose, it surpasses your life purpose. I think that there are some people that are meant to be mothers. There are some people that are meant to be fathers. There are some people that are meant to be leaders. There are some people that are meant to be cleaners, and people that are meant to be servers, and people that are meant to be technology savvy. I think that there are many different things that your life can have a purpose for, but when your soul has a purpose, it surpasses that. And interesting enough, the funny thing about this whole thing is every single one of you have a purpose. Every single one of you have a purpose. There is no question about that. Before you came to this life, before you were born, you set a purpose, a reason to be here. I do not have to tell anybody how difficult things can be at times. How when you're lost and when you're scared and when you're trying to figure out the next step and the next step and the next step, how scary this world can be. There are many people that sit there and say, I'm not coming back, forget this. But you did. Before you got here, you chose why you wanted to be here. Okay? I don't know what each and every person's purpose is. I know what mine is. I can tell you what mine is. My purpose is exactly what I'm doing right now. It is to shine a light on the world. It is to talk about things. And more importantly, it's not just to shine a light on this world, it's to shine a different colored light on this world. A different color. I've seen the white light. I've seen the red light. I've seen the blue light. I want to shine a different color, a different perspective. It was really interesting because I was talking to my mom the other day, and I'm a dreamer. You could just call it that. I watch TV shows and movies, and I relate to characters. I relate to situations. Big part of my childhood was Buffy. Okay. I believe in fantasy. And I don't see it every day, but I believe in it. I believe that it's out there, and I also believe that you need to believe to have it happen. And it took me a long time to figure out how fantasy and magic and all those things actually happen in this world. And recently, I actually started to catch on to it. It's all about perspective. That is what it's all about. It's all about perspective. And what I think your purpose becomes your perspective of this world. Everything that happens in this world funnels through your purpose. So when you go to work, someone upsets you, if it's not cohesive to your purpose, if it has nothing to do with your purpose, walk away from it. And you can. When things are happening in the world that look scary, that look really intense, that you want to jump on board and you see all this hate and all this anger and all these different things, if it is not in line with your purpose, you just don't do it. It is filtered, everything that happens in life is filtered through your purpose. So, what does that mean? That means that if you decide to say that your purpose, your number one purpose here is to be rich, there is nothing that is going to stop you from getting to that point. And that means that all those lines that everyone else draws and says, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that, start getting thinner and thinner when your purpose is to get rich. If your number one purpose on this life is to get rich, then why help other people? Why make sure that your relationship is happy? It's not your purpose, doesn't matter. So you have to be careful when you're trying to figure out your purpose. You have to be careful when you're trying to figure out what it is that you decided to do before you came here. Because if you set your sights too low, you'll cross every single line to get to it. You know, and I will give you a great example. I'm not really sure how many of you guys actually watched this show, but recently, my mom and I, we binge watched Sons of Anarchy. And it's a really interesting show because it shows you how perspective really, really matters. You have got these biker gang selling guns and doing things that are very, very bad, and yet those are your good guys. And when the ATF or the FBI somehow try to get involved, you're on the opposite side. You're like, no. Like, don't mess with my biker gang. But in the real world, that is not how it is at all. In the real world, you are obviously against the biker gangs. You are obviously against the ones that are causing harm. But that show allows you to flip the script completely, allows you to flip the lens and see what it's like from the other side. And there's a character on there, her name is Gemma, and she is the mother of Jax, who is the leader of this group. She is also married to the leader of this biker gang, and she was married to the previous leader, which is Jax's original father. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because in her life, she realizes that her purpose is to be a mother. Her purpose is to be a helper and a mother and take care of everybody. And that's a great purpose. No one can see anything wrong with that, right? I mean, being a mother, that's awesome. Figuring out that that is your purpose is great. But what it did is it made it so that all these other lines that you should not cross, she was willing to cross because it followed along with her purpose. And interesting enough, I think it's her purpose that got her killed. So you have to be careful when you're choosing your purpose. You have to be careful when you think that you know your purpose. And I think one of the best ways for you to figure out what your true purpose is to not listen to the world for what it is, listen to yourself. Whether you meditate, whether you listen to binaural beats, whether you spend time surfing on the internet, or whether you love your favorite show and you just zone out. Whatever it is that you do, that you quiet the world to kind of listen to yourself, that is where you find your purpose. That is where you're going to find your purpose. So the next time that you find yourself in a meditative state, the next time you find yourself at one of our meditations, at online, in yoga, anything that just, calms the body and quiets the mind, ask yourself what your purpose is. Because I can tell you something. There is one thing that will happen that you will not expect to happen, and that will be you will get an answer. When people ask me questions about how much faith I have, let me tell you how much faith I have. I ask a question, I get an answer. There is no in-between phase. There is no, maybe I'm not going to get it, maybe I am. And sometimes it's not the answer you're ready for. I can tell you that right now. There are many times I've got answers and I've been like, I'm going to put that one back there. I'm going to deal with this right here, and I'll come back to it. But you ask what your purpose is. You ask what your purpose is, and I promise you, you will get an answer. But you've got to not look for it externally and start looking for it internally.